Hey everybody, and welcome to my page, Lady T's Things That Bling. Today I am going to show you how I made a sports clock out of a Family Dollar clock. So this is basically what the clock looks like, and I had to take it apart so that I can get to the inside that I needed to change. So I took the back part off, actually the front part off. And prior to me recording, I had already started doing this, so that's why that looks like that. That was the original face piece. So I just took that off and cut another round circle, white circle, and put that in there. Now I need to make this shape. So I went into design space and I picked a shape that I thought was similar to what I needed. And I unlocked it and made it larger. Now I'm going to rotate it. And then I picked another shape of square so that I can slice it where I needed to slice it, because that's not exactly the shape that I wanted. Now, each time you choose a shape, you do have to go and unlock it so that you can slice it. So I went to slice button after I added those two together, joined those two together, and then I sliced it, and then I erased the unnecessary parts. Now I'm rotating it back to the original position it was, and I'm unlocking it, and I'm going to pull it in and pull it down. And I want it to be 1.48, 1.478, and 2.081 per the cup that you see. I'm calling it a cup, per the shape that you see right there. Okay? I'm just showing you how you basically can just change the width and the height. You click on the item and you change the numbers to what you want them to be. But you have to make sure that it's unlocked. Okay? And you can see here, when you highlight it, it tells you what size it is, so you don't have to keep going back up there to look. But when you click on it, it tells you the size. Next, what I'm going to do is upload my image. I'm going to click on it, and it's going to automatically put it in design space for me. Now you see I have all those shapes there. They're basically the same shape, but now we're working with this one. So I had to unlock it and make it bigger so that I can put the shape on it and see where I want it to be so that it can cut it out for me. So I had to bring that shape to the front so that I can see exactly where I want it to be and measure it correctly. And then the shape that the picture that I just inserted, I'm just moving it around so I can see where I want it to be. Then I highlight both of the images, and then I hit slice, so that it can cut it out for me. Then after I do that, I take my shape and I make sure they're the same size and everything is okay. Then after I do that, I have to make sure that it's one piece so that I can do print and cut. I want to do print and cut because if I do basic cut, then it's going to cut it out and it's not going to be any colors to it. But I want it to be print and cut so that when I print it out, it'll already be colored and I'm printing out the shape in the picture. Okay, after I do all that, I'm going to send it to the printer to print it out, and then I'm going to cut it out by hand. As you can see here, I already cut them out, but I used one of the numbers in the clock to make sure that I got the right cut. So after I got finished cutting my pictures, I put that number 8 back in there, and now I'm just taking all of the pictures that I cut out and putting them where I want them to be in the clock. Now, in this particular one, I used glue, but I wouldn't advise that because it left a lump. So now I'm using double-sided tape, and the double-sided tape was much, much better to use. So I'm just putting double-sided tape on the rest of them, and I'm just placing them where I want them to be. So that's the baseball guy. And I placed 6 of them on the clock. So as you know, it's a clock, so it has 12 spaces. So I wanted the baseball guy to be 6 spaces. And then the other 2 images that I used, I cut them out the same way I did the baseball guy. I used 2 other images to put in the other spaces. The double-sided tape is so easy to use, so I would really advise you to use double-sided tape versus hot glue, but you can use whatever you want. So now you see everything is complete as far as putting the pictures in, and now I'm putting the clock hands back together. Okay? And after I put the clock hands together, I'm going to put a battery in to see if it works. But I forgot it wasn't a second hand, so it was going to take a while for me to see if it worked, and it actually worked. But now I'm using window cling. This is window cling, guys. I forgot what store I got this from, but it was a sports store. And that's window cling. So I had to go back and put some double-sided tape on it because it was rising up, and I didn't want it to rise up when I put the glass back on. So there you see me putting the Phillies emblems on there because they are in the World Series, honey. So I'm putting them on there to make sure they stay. And with the double-sided tape is clear, so you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. So there you have it. And I'm going to put this cover back on it. Have to turn it over and put it on. Let me say shout out to Tracy Simmons Gordon, or Tracy Gordon Simmons on YouTube. She was the first person I saw do this clock. I think it was last year or earlier in this year. And I saw her do it. And I attempted to do it one time and I couldn't figure it out. So I didn't do it. So now I'm doing it. But I wanted to give a shout out to her. She has a Facebook group, Crafting Together as One. And you use the number 1 instead of the word spelled out. So you see me here putting the clock back together. And look, isn't it nice? That is so nice. Well, guys, thank you, Tracy Gordon Simmons, and I hope you guys like this. And if you attempt to make it, just let me know. All right, thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and God bless.